Most people waste months making online courses and coaching programs that never sell because they're following outdated advice from gurus who tell you that to start a business, you need to start by building your course, then your funnel, then your audience, and then finally launch, if you even make it that far. But in this video, I'm going to show you a faster plan. It's helped thousands of clients earn $10,000 a month in just 90 days without launching, without ads, and with zero subscribers. It's the same strategy I used to make $492,000 in 6 months launching a business from scratch. And oh, yeah, it'll blow up your YouTube channel too. To start, you need to understand why the guru plan is totally backwards. And I know it's backwards because of a call that I had with a client yesterday. See, my client earned $38,000 in the past 90 days with my help. But before that, she had bought another program and she made no money from it. She even wasted almost $5,000 just following all its steps, and that's on top of the money she spent on the program itself. So I'm going to go through each step in that old guru plan, show you why it fails, and show you what to do instead. Okay, now, if you've invested in a program to help build your course, you'll recognize the guru steps. So let me know if any of this sounds familiar in the chat. All right, and say hello. We are all here together. All right, so guru step one. What if the very first move that the gurus taught you to make, that the gurus, I'm sorry, let's start again. What if the very first move the gurus tell you to make is the reason that you never actually make any money online? See, their first step is to lock in a launch date months from now, then spend the weeks between now and then getting everything ready for that launch. But there's a major problem here. You have no guarantees that people will want to buy what you launch or even that your program will be able to actually help people. So, while gurus say pick your launch date first, don't. Instead, you should start by guaranteeing that there will be demand for what you build before locking anything in, including your launch date. Once we have that guarantee, then we launch. And the best part, we launch after we already have actual money in the bank that real world clients paid you. Hit the like button on this video if that sounds good to you, and I'll show you how to do it in the next steps. All right. Guru step two. Have you ever had the experience of launching an offer that you thought was awesome only to hear crickets? That's what happens when you create a program promise in a vacuum. And yet, the gurus say that you can't just pick your course transformation and move on to the next steps. But spoiler, oh my God, you guys, we have dogs going crazy here. Can you hear? Hey, 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 dogs. All right. All right. Let's continue. But spoiler, by following their step two and just picking something, you're guessing. You're coming up with a transformation that sounds good to you, but that might mean nothing to the people that you want to help. So, what you should do instead is to think of a transformation and then validate it based on what the people you want to help actually want. So, you have conversations with them and you ask them, what are you stuck on? What does their ideal situation look and feel like? So, instead of just picking a transformation, you spend that time talking to your ideal clients and then you use their exact words to write a transformation that lands and create an offer that they actually want to buy. All right, you guys, let's say hello. Hello, Cozy Constellation. Hello, who else is here? Say hello, hello, hello. All right. Let's move on to the next step that the gurus will teach you. Guru step three. Listen, if you're still broke, your course title is not the problem. Gurus will tell you that step three is to come up with the perfect course name. Catchy, creative, cute. And people will spend hours, sometimes days, on this step alone. But here's the truth: cute names don't convert, results do. That's why instead you should name your course based on a simple formula. The course name should be the result you're going to provide, and then a word like blueprint, or the desire that your ideal client has, and then a word like system. So the result, blueprint, or the desire, system. That way, there's no space for confusion, and your program will sell better because your clients will know that it delivers the exact results that they want. Now, we've got the Date Pro in the chat saying that, but I like cute names. I know everybody likes cute names, but the point is, a lot of people spend so much time focusing on this that they don't focus on what's really important. And a lot of the times, cute names are actually a bit confusing. All right. So, the dating system, right? The Date Pro, that's what you should name your program. All right. Or actually, if you know if your people want to like get married, you can name it the Get Married Blueprint. All right? Okay. Guru step 4. Want to know the fastest way to undercharge or to scare off your dream? Oh my god, you guys, I'm having trouble here. Want to know the fastest way to undercharge or scare off your dream clients? Most people just copy someone else's pricing. And the truth is, pricing that looks right might be totally off for your offer, your audience, or your experience. Yet, the gurus will tell you to set your course price based on what your competitors are charging, and worse, without having talked to a single potential buyer. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to price your program based on the problem that it solves, and the problem and how much that problem is already costing your ideal clients. And you're also going to price it based on the value of the transformation that you offer. That way, investing in your program is a total no-brainer to your clients. I don't have time to go full deep into pricing strategy right now, but for a full breakdown of my pricing strategy, download the 0 to Consistent 10K Months Blueprint, which I linked in the description of this video. All right. I have relationship mastery, but that does not feel right, says Deborah. All right, Deborah, stay put till the end of the live and we're going to answer your questions, but I agree with you. Does that feel right? Okay. So, yeah, and by the way, guys, we are having a full Q&A at the end, all right? So, Guru step 5. Now, with your name and price locked in, you'd think that you'd be ready to sell. But instead, the next Guru step takes you even further from revenue. Because this is where the gurus will tell you to create all your lessons and pre-record your videos. So off you go. You map out 10 modules, record hours of videos, build worksheets, all before a single person has paid you. That's weeks of work with zero proof that your system works or that people will actually want to buy it. So here's what to do instead. Focus on doing just a rough outline of the core milestones that your clients need to hit to reach those results that they want as fast as possible. And don't record a single thing because you're going to get money in the bank first, okay? In the next step, you're going to get money in the bank. All right. So, Guru step 6. Do you want to work around the clock for months on end with zero income to show for it? If so, just follow the guru's advice and start creating content and trying to build your audience. Because they will tell you to batch 50 plus videos, edit forever, and then upload and wait. And I can tell you what happens next. The realization creeps in that you've spent all your time making and promoting something that nobody wants. So instead of getting sucked into an endless content black hole, you're going to make money now. How? By reaching back out to the people you spoke to in step 2, right? Because they already told you what they're actually struggling with. You built your offer based exactly on what they want to buy, and you already established trust with them by having a real conversation. Now get back on a call with them and pre-sell your program. You guys hear the dogs? Dogs everywhere. All right. So this is the point where instead of following what the gurus say, you're going to get back on a call with them and pre-sell your program. This is where my clients make $10,000, $30,000, $40,000, even $70,000 in just 90 days without actually having built anything or gotten sucked into the content trap. Let me know if that's something you want to do. Drop it in the chat and don't forget to like this video, you guys. All right. Guru step 7. As if getting sucked into content hell isn't enough, the gurus will add even more time wasting to your plate by telling you to create a lead magnet to grow your list. So you spend hours making a fancy PDF that you don't even know if people will download because, again, just like your course and your content, you create the lead magnet based on what you think people want, not what they told you they want. And still no income. Meanwhile, if you've been following the new way, my way, you already have cash in the bank, like $10,000 or more, from the previous steps. So now you're ready to deliver your program live. And here's why you're going to deliver it live. You skip wasting time and money creating something that people might not want, and instead you spend that time getting paid by people who actually want and need your help. Thanks, Date Pro. All right. Then you create the modules over the weeks you are delivering it, tweaking it and optimizing it according to valuable feedback you collect during that delivery process. And because you're live with your clients, you can support them closely and help them get amazing results, which you will use in the next steps. All right. Guru step 8. Mike. All right. Now, if you've been following the guru's advice, at this point, you might think you're finally ready to start helping people and making some money around here. But then you hit, but then the gurus hit you with the mother of all time sucks, setting up the back end tech. Oh gosh. Because apparently, before you've made a single sale, now you need a full funnel, a lead magnet integration, a Kajabi build out, a pixel perfect sales page, and maybe even a fancy email automation with 6 nurture sequences and a partridge in a pear tree. This is where most people stall out completely because you're knee deep in tech. You're drowning in tabs, paying for software, and still not getting paid. So please, next time you hear set up your funnel, lead magnet, and full sales page before you even launch, run. Drop a like in the video if you can promise me that you will run next time you hear that. Because, yes, you do need to set all that up so that your business can run on autopilot, but not until you have a validated offer that you know will be worth your time and your money investment. So instead of doing it the guru's way, you sell first, deliver live, get results, which if you've been following my way, you already did, and only then do you move everything into Kajabi. Because now you know that the messaging that magnetizes your ideal clients, you know what it is. Now you know your ideal client's exact buying triggers. Now you have client testimonials, which are your most powerful marketing assets for making sales. And now you have the money to invest in this stuff, which isn't cheap. Tech should serve the sale, not delay it. All right, I'm going to say that again. Tech should serve the sale, not delay it. I'm happy to see that Deborah and the Date Pro are going to run the other way if they see that. All right, Guru step 9. Okay, so if you've been following the guru's advice, you built the course, you made the lead magnet, you've duct taped the tech stack together. So now it's time for the big payoff, right? The launch is supposed to be your big moment. It's supposed to be that magic time that you finally make the money. But really, a launch is just a high pressure gamble dressed up like strategy. Here's why the guru launch strategy is broken. Okay. You do a big launch with urgency, countdown timers, bonuses. You open the cards, cross your fingers, pray that months of work will pay off in 7 days. But what if it doesn't? There's no backup plan. You're just waiting. Have any of you been taught this strategy before? Build it all first, then launch, and then wait? Let me know in the chat. And if you haven't liked this video yet, go ahead and like it. All right. Here's what you're going to do instead. All right. Instead of building hype, the new way builds consistency. Instead of launching, you use the evergreen model, meaning there's rolling enrollment for your program. And instead of urgency tactics and drama, you rely on the single most powerful marketing tool available, a tool that will bring in hot leads that are ready to buy every single day on autopilot. Now, can anybody in the chat tell me what that tool is? Tell me, what is the tool that will bring in hot leads every day that are ready to buy? That's right, YouTube. And here's the best part. By following this strategy, your YouTube will blow up and make sales from day one, even if you're starting from scratch. Here's why. You've spoken to your ideal clients, so you know what they want in their own words. This means you know exactly what type of content to create to attract more people like them. There's no guessing game. You're totally equipped to create the exact videos that your ideal clients will click on and watch, which means you get the views and the subscribers too with every single video. Plus, you've already made sales. You've already gotten client results and have proof that your program works. This means your credibility is established from your very first video. And you've set up the tech for that validated offer so you can have a steady stream of leads from your videos to your email sequences, which leads to effortless sales from day one on YouTube. That's pretty sweet, isn't it, you guys? Yeah. And for those of you who said email, you're right, but we need to get people to your email list. And the best way to do that is through YouTube. All right. Guru step 10. All right. But here's what happens if you follow the gurus. Instead of making money with ease, step 10 is to actually light your money on fire. Yay. See, the gurus will tell you to run Facebook ads to scale your course. But here's why that advice is broken. You've never sold your offer organically. You've never validated your funnel, but now you're paying Meta or Google to figure out if your copy works. That's not strategy. It's fucking madness. You should never, ever, ever run ads to an unproven offer or gamble with unproven copy. Instead, by following my system, you use organic YouTube to rank, validate, and refine every piece of the funnel for free, all while already making 5 figures every single month. Then, when you're converting 30% of leads to calls with content alone, then you can decide if you want to throw fuel on the fire with paid ads. So, now that you know what not to do and why, you can dive into what will actually make you $10,000 in the next 90 days. The video linked in the description is a full masterclass that dives into each step and takes and even tells you, oh my God, how long to spend on each step. So watch that after our Q&A. But now let's dive in. We've had questions coming in from Robert, Liz, Chris, Hope, Charles. If any of you guys are here, let me know in the chat. I also see that we have a question from Cozy Constellation, and do we have a question from Sean? Anyway, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. I will answer after I answer the questions that came in through email. So let's start with Robert. You hear Robert? Okay. Robert actually has 2 questions. I love that when you guys are feeling inspired. All right. First question, how do you overcome imposter syndrome? I love this question, and I'm going to start here because I mean, we all suffer from imposter syndrome, right? It's like a serious thing and it can really hold you back in business. But by design, this system that I just outlined for you is meant to build you confidence and to truly give you everything that you need to build that confidence and overcome that imposter syndrome. Because here, you are speaking to your ideal clients, understanding what they need, building relationships with them. And so often, if you ask the questions that I give you, the strategic questions that position you as an authority, by the end of the call, they're going to be like, so how do I work with you? How do I pay you? That is such a big confidence booster, right? So this whole process really helps you to understand how to reach out to your ideal clients, how to talk to them, and how to sell to them. All right. Robert, his second question is how to decide what to focus on. Should he build new skills, build an audience, products, course creation? Again, I love it because the gurus will tell you to do all those things, right? First, you need a certification, then you need to build an audience, then you need to build your product and then launch. No. What to focus on is first understanding the big problem that you're solving for your ideal clients, and second, selling the solution. Once you've sold the solution, then we're going to go through all the steps of delivering it, then building your funnels, and then creating content and driving more leads and more sales. But you always want to start with validating that offer and validating that demand. So first, market research, second, sell, and then deliver it live. All right. Hey, Mish, glad you're here. All right. Liz wants to know, how do you initially launch your course live so you get feedback? Is that done over Zoom over a few days in one day? Do you go over the entire course with them live? I just can't picture what that looks like since it seems like a lot of material to cover in one day, or also a big scheduling headache to get them all watching at the same time. And you still need specific helpful feedback from all the pre-sale clients. Is that like a live interview one-on-one, group interviews? Oh my gosh. Okay, Liz. Whew. Take a deep breath. Let's go through this. So, addressing your first question, how do you initially launch your course live so you get feedback? So, what you're going to do is when you're going back to all the people that you spoke to in the research phase and you sell your program, you're going to say, we are launching on X date. Remember, the first step that I said is that we don't set a launch date right at the beginning, not until we know that there's demand for that. So at this point, you're going to be like, we are launching on whatever, July 1st. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to schedule 2 time slots in your calendar over 6 to 8 weeks. So basically, the first time slot per week is going to be when you actually deliver, right? Your curriculum, deliver your method, your lessons, your trainings. And the second one is where you're going to meet with your clients and support them, answer their questions, give them feedback, all of that. And you're going to do it over 6 to 8 weeks because you need that time to deliver your entire curriculum. Now, I want to be very clear about this. You don't that not your clients are not necessarily going to go through the transformation in those 6 to 8 weeks. So what you're going to sell to them is you're going to get the live lessons over 6 to 8 weeks, and you're going to get 3 months of support, 6 months of support, a year of support, however long they need that support for. All right. And the reason for this is exactly, it might not be enough time for them to actually get the transformation, but you need to deliver that program so that they have access to your curriculum. They can go back, watch it again at their own time, and you support them throughout the time that they're going through that transformation. Okay. So not in one day. And you don't go over the entire course in one day, and you're going to be building those trainings over the weeks. So right before your first lesson, you're going to build that first one. Then you're going to deliver it. You're going to hang out with your clients. You're going to collect feedback. You're going to optimize, tweak, and then you'll have a full week to create that second week of your course, and so on and so forth. And yes, you do this over Zoom. You record your lessons. You set up like a Facebook group, and you can upload your recorded lessons into that Facebook group. So that they can go back and watch it. And then once you're done delivering the whole thing, that's when you'll go back and re-record everything. Make it pretty, make it good, set it up in Kajabi, etc. And as far as feedback, you're going to be collecting feedback the whole time. So based on their questions, for example, if they ask the same questions again and again and again, that means that there's a hole in your curriculum. So when you re-record that, you can answer that question that you're asked all the time in the actual trainings. Okay. And then obviously, once you've gone through the entire curriculum, you can get on a one-to-one call with each one and collect that feedback as well. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Liz. Let me know. Let's move on to Chris's question. So Chris asked, in a world where few admit to having frustrations or pain points, especially those who have enough money to buy a high ticket offer, how do you build confidence in your planned product? So how do you build confidence in your market research? Okay, this is a really good question because I believe, Chris, that this is a limiting belief that you have because people will absolutely open up about their frustrations, their pain points, their desires, their fears, the whole thing. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've had people cry on a research call or on a sales call. Like, people will absolutely open up to you as long as you establish that rapport and as long as you ask the right questions. This is why having those specific authority building questions in your research phase and in your sales framework is really important, because when you ask the right questions, people will 100% let you know exactly what they're feeling, exactly what they need. They will cry. Oh my God. Like, I've had this experience, and so many of my clients have had this experience too, of like clients just literally breaking down in the research call or the sales call. And every single one of my clients, have created a high ticket offer. So this is really, I 100% just know that this is a limiting belief, Chris. And once you start doing the work, you'll see that. Oh, I'm so happy Nate is here. Thank you, Nate. Nate is one of my clients, you guys. Thank you for saying that, Nate. Okay. Now let's answer Hope's question. Is Hope here? Because I have some feedback for Hope. All right. So Hope says, I'm just diving into YouTube, so I'd love to know some best practices to grow my channel and what's working for that right now. Okay. So Hope, if you're here, this is what happens, you guys, when you send your question in ahead of time, because Hope did, and I actually had a look at her channel. So Hope, I had a look at your channel, and basically some feedback here and why I'm saying each of those things. Okay. So on your channel, your titles are good, but your thumbnails really need some work. Here's the thing. Packaging on YouTube is the most important thing of anything else that you're going to do, because it doesn't matter how good your content, your videos, your experience you are. If nobody clicks, then none of that matters, right? So your title and your thumbnail need to work together to really drive curiosity. It needs to be contrarian. It needs to be like, wait, what? Or it needs to be like, this is something that I absolutely have to know more about. And a mistake that I see a lot of people making is kind of like just sort of repeat the title, but in a different way on their thumbnails. But no, you got to use your thumbnails to give more context and build more curiosity around what your video is about. Okay. So, what I saw on your channel, Hope, is that your titles are really good, but your thumbnails can really use some work. So what you can do is look at other channels in your niche, and what you're going to look is not just what videos they make, but what videos are really blowing up in your competitors' channels. And then you're just gonna kind of copy it. Not like copy it, because you want to make sure that you put your own twist to it and obviously make it your own, but you need to see what people are clicking on. And the best way to do that is go to your competitors' channels, see the videos that have more views than every other video on their channel, and then kind of copy it. And then with this comes the next point. Okay. I saw your channel, Hope, and the first thing that I noticed that's a really big mistake, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here, but I think that everybody can really benefit from this, is that the first 6 seconds of your video is like the music with the channel name, d. Don't do that, because uh, your intro should answer 3 questions that come up in your viewer's mind when they see your packaging. So they see your packaging and instantly they make a decision about whether or not to click. And you need to confirm that they've made the right decision to click in the first 30 seconds. 15 seconds is even better. And I clicked on one of your videos. So we had the 6 second intro. So you just like killed off 6 seconds out of those 15 really important first seconds there. And then a minute in, you were still kind of talking about, oh, hey, you guys, how are you? What's up? Today I want to talk about a thing. And like, it doesn't reaffirm their their belief that they've clicked on the right thing. And this is where you're going to lose a lot of people. So instead, what you want to do is look at your packaging, think of 3 questions that might come up in their head right away as soon as they see your packaging, and then you want to answer those questions right away. So if you guys want to see, like, let's look at the first what this script was, right? So the packaging here is copy the strategy, it will blow up your business. And then there's the text says you need 0 subscribers, right? So the questions that I came up for this was, how is this going to help me if I have literally 0 subscribers? Like, can YouTube really actually work for someone starting from scratch? And then another question is, what makes this strategy different from everything else I've tried or watched on YouTube? And then it's, who is she and why should I trust her strategy to blow up my business? Now, in my intro, which is just about, I think it's like 20 seconds long, is I say most people waste months making online courses and coaching programs that never sell because they follow outdated advice. So I'm telling you right there that I'm going to give you a better, faster plan, right? Because then I go into, but in this video, I'm going to show you a faster plan. And then I say that I've helped thousands. So like, I give you that credibility piece so that you know you can trust me. And then in the end, I go, oh yeah, and it'll blow up your YouTube too, because I know that that's something that people are interested in my niche. So you really need to address all those things right at the very, very beginning. And a lot of people who do podcasts, like, they struggle with this, right? Because it's a different world for podcasting. So for YouTube, you can have the same content as your podcast as long as you spend some serious time thinking about title, thumbnail, so your packaging, and the intro for YouTube. And then everything else can be the same. All right. Let me know if you have any other questions, Hope, and anybody else, obviously. So I'm going to answer Charles' question next, and then I'll go through the chat and see if you guys have any other questions that I can answer. And if you haven't sent one yet, go ahead and do that. And if you haven't liked this video yet, go ahead and leave that like, super important, so that more people can see it. Okay. Charles asked, how do you track I lost it because I kicked the cable here. Okay, how do you track products sold to a specific video audience or CATA variant? So like different thumbnails, for instance. Do you need to code for custom analytics? So yes, absolutely. You need to be tracking everything for your business, right? Especially when you get to YouTube, because we need to know what are the videos that are working for your ideal clients, and then obviously do more of that. What are the videos that are converting better, and then do more of that. So what you do is you add a specific link to a specific UTM marked link, right? Link to each of your videos so that you know which videos are driving most traffic to your lead magnet or to your sales page or to your booking page. With that said, Charles, it's not really possible to understand what like variation of title or thumbnail because it is the same video, unless if you, so like if you do the A/B testing on YouTube, you can't really know. But if you do a thumbnail and it's not performing very well, and then you decide to change it, then you can, I suppose, go ahead and change that UTM link so that you know that, these clicks are for these clicks are for from before I changed the title and thumbnail, and these clicks are from after. So hope that answers your question, Charles. Let me know. Actually, I don't think Charles is here because I know that Charles is currently on a sales call with my team. So I don't think you're here, Charles, but you can actually watch this later and hopefully we can work through this inside the program. By the way, you guys, if you want to work with me, make $10,000 or more in the next 90 days and get consistent 5-figure income after that, go ahead and click on the link that's pinned in the chat and at the top of the description below. Okay, let's get into some more questions. So Cozy Constellation has a question. Where do we find potential clients to ask question? Asking as someone with 0 following for my program. Okay, this is a really good question. It's something that comes up a lot. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to find out where your clients hang out. And the best way to do this is to search for your competitors. So competing YouTube channels, competing Instagram pages, or even Facebook groups where your clients might hang out. And then you are going to send them a message, or you're going to post a piece of content in that Facebook group, right? And then you are just going to say, hey, I saw that you followed whatever. I'm doing some research for this project. I have absolutely nothing to sell, but I would love to ask you a few questions. Would you be open to hopping on a call with me? I'll, buy you some coffee in exchange for your time. And usually people say yes if you're targeting the right people, obviously, because people love to talk about themselves, you guys. Like, people will absolutely spend half an hour telling you all about their problems. So what we find with my clients is that once you find where your people hang out, and this is something that we do together inside the program, reaching out and getting them on a call is like the easy part. And then selling after you've already had them on a call is also the easy part. All right. Okay. So next question. Sean says, I have a course and only sold one at a deep discount through word of mouth. So Sean, this is something that happens so often. I have a client, Karen, who came in with a course that she sold 0 units for. 0. And then we did this work and then she made like 44K in the first month, I think. She's now made over 6 figures in 9 months. So it really is just about following this process. Even if you already built a course, if it's not selling or if it's not, delivering results for your clients, you need to go back and really start having these conversations, really start understanding like where's the problem here. And this is the bulk of the work that we do together. If you already have a course, and if you don't, then we figure that out from the very start. Okay. How would you suggest I market my weight loss course? Also, Sean. Okay. So, Sean, the truth is, I don't have that answer, right? Your ideal clients have that answer. And it's our job, your job, to really find out what is magnetic to them, what makes them take action. And this is the work that we do together in that research phase, where we really ask these strategic questions that will help you to really create content that's magnetic to your ideal clients, that's really going to hit all your buying triggers, that's really going to help you to know exactly what words to use in your copy, in your content, in your sales page, what lead magnet to create. Because if we don't actually speak to your people, then again, we're still guessing. And, marketing is super easy, you guys, when you know what people want. And people will tell you what they want. You just have to ask them, like straight out, ask them, and then use the exact words that they use in your marketing, in your content, in your copy, in your sales page, in your sales calls, etc. So hopefully, Sean, you can go back and do that. Okay, so are we still here? I just got a little like message saying that we're with a little lag, but let me know if you guys are still here, if you can still see me, if all is good. Okay. Next question. I have a vision. I know the program I want to sell. I simply do not know how to get started. This is chassis dusology. Did I say that right? Sorry, Sachi dusology, if I said that, if I just butchered your name there. Okay. So this is a really big problem, right? A lot of people want to build that online business, want to create a course, want to create a group coaching program, but it feels so overwhelming, right? It's like, where the fuck do I start? Like, what do I do first and next and after that? So it's a lot of guesswork, and I get that. But this whole process, and again, the process that I laid out in this video, but also the process that I lay out in the video in the description below, is like a step-by-step system that tells you exactly where to start and exactly what to do after that, and then after that, and after that, and after that. It really gives you access to all the things that you need to know in order to build that course, that vision that you have, and also just how to get started and what to do next. So it removes the guesswork. So chassis dusology, hopefully you'll go see that video. And if you want, you can also just click on the link that's pinned at the top of the chat and at the top of the description. Book a call with my team. We can walk through the exact strategy that's personalized for your business. And, you know, if you want to hear more about how we can work together, we can. And if you don't want to hear more, we will never tell you unless you ask to hear. All right. So go ahead and schedule that call. All right. Okay, so Hope, let me go back to Hope. And she says, so should I record a different intro to add onto the podcast video when uploading it to YouTube? Yes. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about your packaging, your title, thumbnail, and intro. Well, first you're going to think about your title and thumbnail. Then once you have that, you're going to ask those questions, write out your intro, and then you are going to go and record your podcast. Okay. And then you're going to go and actually create that content, because again, it needs to be aligned with that packaging. What we want to do on YouTube is basically clickbait, but then you deliver on that clickbait, right? Like we want to use those big words and like, this is the best, this is the worst, this is the biggest. And you want to really drive that curiosity, and you want it to be clickbaity, but then when the person actually clicks, you don't want them to feel like it was clickbait. You actually want to pay off what you kind of promised, and you want to deliver on that. Okay. So question, a guide on authority building questions. Can you elaborate a bit? Yes, Mish. So I actually have a whole video about the questions themselves. I also have my zero to consistent 10K zero to consistent 10K months blueprint in the description below if you um want to download that. But basically, you really want to have a conversation where you start off with people's fears and pains. So like, what is the hardest thing about what you're going through? What is the thing that you're most struggling with? You know, what fears do you have about this thing? So really start with pains and fears. Then you want to ask them kind of like, what have they tried before? Why didn't that work for them? Like what's the problem? Like, why haven't they reached the result that they want yet? And then you want to ask them, well, what's their ultimate solution? Like, what's their ultimate situation and what does it look like? And then you really want to dig in and ask more questions, because you want to get a really clear picture about what those desires are and what's the desire behind the desire, right? A lot of people will tell me, for instance, they want to make 10K months. And I'm like, well, why? Like 10K months is great, but that's just a means. What's the end? Well, because they want freedom, because they want to spend more time with their kids, because they want to leave their job. So you really need to ask the question and then keep digging and going into the why of all of it. Okay. All right. That, I think, are all the questions. So if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat now. If not, again, I want to remind you to watch the video linked in the description below. That is a full masterclass of every step you need to take to reach those consistent 10K months in 90 days, and exactly how much time to spend on what and in what order. So you have that full blueprint there for you to follow. And also, if you want to talk about how we can personalize this strategy for you and really get a great idea of what that would look like for your business, then go ahead and book a call with my team. The link is at the top of the description below. This is a no pressure strategy call where you will leave knowing exactly what to do. And of course, if you want to hear more about how we can work together, then we'll tell you. But if not, then that's okay too. We love getting to know you. So we're always super happy to have those calls. All right. La 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 la. Oh, okay. We have another question here before we finish. Um, do you recommend how to do market research ethically so you're not hijacking other people's groups? Yeah, this is a really good question, right? Because spam is gross and we don't want to be spammy. We don't want to be gross. We don't want to do all the icky things that, cold DM people do. So what I like to do is, first of all, if you're able to post in the groups with a ton of value, then go ahead and do that. Some groups don't allow posting. So in that case, then don't. But then what you can do is have a look at posts that other people have done in that group and the comments. So if it's a post that's relevant to your niche, then go ahead and start adding the people that have commented in that post. And then just go ahead and send them a DM and just say again, hey, hi, I'm just doing some research. So you don't have to be like gross about it, and just really start those conversations in that relationship. Again, we have that full strategy on how to do that. I think I have another video about that too. I do. So go ahead and look for that. But again, full masterclass, step by step, how to do that, linked in the description below. And book a call with my team so that we can talk personalized strategy to you and your business. And I can't wait to get to know you. So thank you so much for being here today. I will see you again next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. See you then. Beijo.